seeing a quick one.
Okay, so go ahead, Angela.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your participation, everyone. For your information, this meeting will be recorded and added to the ACC landing page. We ask that you please hold your comments and questions until after the speaker's presentation. If you would like to make a comment or ask a question, please use the chat or reactions feature to raise your hand so I or someone, the co-host, will unmute you. When you speak, please introduce yourself, clearly state your full name for the record so that we can record your attendance. Please type your name into the chat if you are unable to use the chat. Please send an email to Kathleen Smith-Wenning. Her name is on the agenda in her email. Please be supportive of your opinions and we are beginning on time, and we are going to end on time for those who are scheduled to attend the All College Faculty Orientation at 4 o'clock. And thank you for your participation. And now I will pass this on to the chair of the council, Lauren Drew.
Thank you, Angela. Hopefully you were able to get the gist of it. I know we had some issues with muting and unmuting. Just double checking that I unmuted. I am good. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to use the chat or to raise your hand, as Angela mentioned. Otherwise, please stay on mute so that way we can keep the audio as clear as possible. The first item on our agenda today is the review of the February minutes. The last in-person meeting that we had was back in February, so those are the official meeting minutes that we have to review. I do want to give everybody some information, though, about what's been happening since February. In April, I sent out an update on what the ACC was doing in the spring. And while our committees don't formally meet over the summer, a lot of members have been really active, and we have had a few official representatives on external councils, committees, and task forces. So I'd really like to thank Peter Cronrath and Shanine Caruana for being our official ACC representatives on the Return to Campus Task Force. They really were working around the clock to represent us. I know everybody on the task force has been working around the clock to make it the return to campus go as smoothly and safely as possible. I also want to thank Sharon Daughtry, who was our official representative on the College Service Day planning team. So part of the day that we enjoyed today was thanks to her. So thanks to her as well as the whole planning team. And thank you all again for being here. I know that everybody has been working hard over the summer to support student success in various ways, and now especially getting ready for the new fall semester. So I will ask you to start taking a look at the February meeting minutes. If you're a member of the ACC, you should have found them in your email from me today. I'm also putting in the chat a link to the minutes, so you can click on that link to see them if it's more convenient for you to do it that way. And let me know if the link doesn't work for any reason. Kathy, you're muted if you're trying to.
Hi, Lauren. Just to let you know, I'm here to mute everyone that needs to be muted. So,
perfect. Thank you, Elisa.
So if you try talking and you can't, I may have put everybody on mute. So if you're speaking, you have to take yourself off.
So if you have any corrections to the minutes, please feel free to put them into the chat. If you have a longer comment, you can raise your hand next to your name in the participants tab, and Kathy will note your corrections.
So Lauren, you tell me when you want me to stop sharing.
Sure. So we'll wait until after the minutes are there's a motion to approve the minutes, and then yeah. Okay, so if you're just joining the call, we're taking a look at the minutes. I'm going to put the same link in the chat again, just in case you're joining. You can open the document on your own computer. Okay, do we have any corrections to the minutes?
Connors, I see you. I'll put your name in attendance at the meeting from the last time.
And Kathy, did you see Archana's comment about her name?
Okay. If it's in the chat, that's great because I can save everything in the chat and then I can edit what I need to fix.
Okay, I'm trying to take a look at everybody's screens. It looks like most people have stopped reading. Do we have any other corrections to the minutes? Okay, do we have a motion to approve the minutes? So Eric, thank you. Eric Adamson is the first, and a second. Thank you, Heather. Heather Connors is our second. If you could just give me a visual thumbs up if you accept the minutes as amended. Great, thank you very much. One other item that I'd like to talk to you about near the beginning of our agenda is an update on charter review. So if you were with us in the spring, you've heard me talk a little bit before about the ACC's charter review. In the spring, we formed a ad hoc subcommittee to start taking a look at the ACC charter. Let me try to share my screen with you and give you a little bit more information. Okay, so as I mentioned in the spring, the ACC formed an ad hoc subcommittee on charter review. You can see our members here. It's a fairly small but very engaged team that includes the current steering committees and past members of the ACC steering committee. ACC members, as well as folks who are not currently part of the ACC. We have faculty, staff, different perspectives represented. Our goals in looking at the charter initially were kind of focusing mostly on membership and how we go about membership within the ACC, thinking about issues like the inclusion of adjuncts and the possibility of elected representation. We have started to take a look at our charter, started looking at what other colleges do, reading articles on governance. We've looked at past recommendations from past task forces on the ACC. We've taken a look at some surveys. There's a fairly informal faculty survey done last fall. So we're really looking at this issue from a range of perspectives. We're hoping to bring a few formal recommendations to the ACC later this semester. But one thing I want to bring to you right now, something that we noticed in taking a closer look at the charter and thinking about the inclusion of adjuncts, is what the ACC charter already says about membership. So what does the charter say about membership? Our charter specifically mentions that we are inviting all of the constituents of the college to participate, that we want to represent the perspective, expertise, and guidance of the respective groups of faculty, staff, students, and administrators. It defines the college community as including full-time and part-time students, faculty, support, and administrative staff. And it also mentions that no full-time employees of the college shall be denied membership on the All-College Council. So taking a look at what our charter has to say about membership, it sounds very open and inviting. So over the summer, I got a few requests from adjunct faculty members to join the ACC. And as the subcommittee took a look through the charters, the steering committee took a look through the charter, we really could see no reason why not to include adjuncts as members of the ACC. If you look at how the committees are composed as well, we do have guidelines. This is just an example about student affairs. We do have guidelines that tell how many members maximum should be on a committee, who should be included minimally. So for example, student affairs has 2 representatives from student services, 4 faculty members, the SGA president, 2 student representatives, a support staff member, and a community education representative. These numbers don't add up to 15, which means that there are additional slots for other people who would like to volunteer. As I mentioned, the subcommittee and the steering committee taking a look at what's in our charter, taking into consideration the valuable role that adjunct faculty play at the institution and the fact that they wanted to get involved, we together decided to begin allowing adjunct faculty who had volunteered to officially join ACC standing committees. So that's the update that I wanted to give you now. If anybody has any comments on that decision, wants to appeal the decision of the steering committee or object to it, now's your chance. Most of the committees are already full. Right now, it looks like we will have 2 adjunct faculty members beginning to join those committees. As I mentioned, the subcommittee is going to be making a more formal recommendation on how we can include adjunct faculty members going forward. A few standing items that we had on our agenda last semester were the community updates from Achieving the Dream, the President's Advisory Council on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And this semester, we're also including the Return to Campus Task Force. And the purpose of having these updates inside the ACC meeting is really to make sure that everybody's aware and informed of what's going on at the college, and that you have the opportunity to ask questions and provide feedback. I would again that when a presenter is making an update, please hold any questions or comments until after they've finished speaking. And then you can type into the chat box or raise your hand. So our first update is from the Achieving the Dream team, and that's Heather and Sheila.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Heather DeVries, Associate Dean Academic Affairs and Co-Chair of Achieving the Dream team. We're going to, I think, my colleague Sheila Dinan and I are going to keep this fairly brief, as you've heard quite a bit from the Dream team in the past few weeks. But thank you to everyone who attended the 2 open fora we held last week. Between the 2 of them, we had about 100 participants, which is amazing, especially considering the competing priorities at this point leading up to the semester. The Wednesday open forum was recorded. I have to send it to Jen Christopher's office to be refined, and then that will be posted in a location TBD. But for those who were unable to attend, I did receive many inquiries whether one would be recorded or if they could participate in some other way, so stay tuned for that. John Scanlon just gave an awesome presentation about student success data, and I believe that was recorded too, so we'll try to get that in the same location as well for additional information. Otherwise, the Dream team, and again, thank you to our Dream team of 30 some odd members. Just a really inclusive group who has been fantastic to work with and so dedicated to the development of the Student Success Action Plan. We worked all summer to refine our Student Success Action Plan, and that is available on the Achieving the Dream webpage. I will put the link in the chat momentarily. And now we're pivoting to the next phase of our work, and I'm going to turn to my co-chair, Sheila Dinan, to tell you about it.
Thank you, Heather. We really have covered a tremendous amount of work through this past July when we finally submitted our action plan, and now we're moving on to the next phase, and we have done a lot of promotion to it. And what I would say to all of you is that you all have the opportunity to be working on this with us. There are now 6 different teams that will be working on very specific strategies and areas that we need to have, that we have identified that will be the most pivotal to help our students to succeed. And I won't go into it any further because people have heard a lot of it lately and today. But truly, if you would love to be any part of it and you don't have to be there for the whole time, you can be there for pieces of time to just to do specific work. Please let Heather or myself know, or if you saw the presentation this morning, there was a list of all of the team. Thank you, Heather. These are the team co-leaders, and you can talk to each one of them or just get in touch with them, and they will be happy to have you join their happy little band of warriors. Thank you.
And they welcome the help and the expertise of the entire college community. Again, this is going to be intensive work going forward. It's been intensive work to this point and intensive work going forward. So what's that expression? Many hands make light work.
Yes.
So we're definitely applying that principle here.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Heather and Sheila? Great, thank you. Thank you so much. I think that's a sign that you're doing a lot of good reporting out. The next update on the agenda is from PAC Day, from the President's Advisory Council on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. So Lalisa or Yoris?
Thank you so much. Can you hear us loud and clear? Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to first thank Lauren Drew for her leadership with ACC and for this invitation to speak to you today. We look forward to continuing to share all of the updates of PAC Day and to engage the college community in this very important platform. We have been charged with some work and we're trying to get that done. Some of the people on the audience might have already heard about some of these updates. Maybe you have attended some of the programs. Some of you might have even planned and executed these programs. This is clearly a team effort, and we first want to recognize and thank the entire Pack Day group. Yours and I might be the face that you often see when you hear Pack Day, but we want you to know we have an amazing group, 37 people in total that are from the community, from the board, from other administrators, faculty, staff around the college. And they are doing some very, very important work, and they absolutely deserve full recognition. We had some engaging moments this summer. It was unfortunate that there was a murder of George Floyd that led all of us to focus on some of the programs that we had to collaborate about, but we are thankful that we got an opportunity to know each other on a deeper level. There were dialogues, there were panels, there were discussions, and even a few tears. We learned a lot about each other. And some of you, even though you couldn't take part in these programs, but many of you helped to create these programs. We are grateful for the emergence of the partnerships with HR, Student Life and Leadership, Cultural Affairs, the Academic Support Centers, the Center for Teaching, Learning, and Innovation, and so much more. We are able to offer these following programs over the summer. There was a multi-week book talk featuring the New York Times best-selling book titled White Fragility: Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism. Then there was a discussion about students in the movement panel. There was a Rest in Power virtual vigil and an allyship panel. And now with that, I'll turn it over to yours, Pujols, my Pack Day partner.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Before I continue with that, I just want to recognize you for the work you did today, putting this event together. I know it took a lot, and you did wonderful. But yeah, I just want to continue with the list of programs that we offer over the summer. Again, I just wanted to highlight what Lisa mentioned. We should not get the credit for this. This is partners. This is individuals from the college community who had ideas that wanted to, promote their programs, and they coincided with what we needed to do a Pack Day. Another event that we had that was very powerful. We had a virtual vigil honoring the life of civil rights leader John Lewis. Professor Dorothy Anderson was the visionary, the person with the idea pushing this, and I have to say that that particular event brought forth like incredible collaboration. We had individuals throughout the college community just partaking in that and making it happen. Also, I want to thank Dr. David Clark for agreeing to serve as our first storyteller with HR. It was an incredible presentation, and I know David for close to 100 years, I think, and I learned new things about him then. So thank you, David, and that was the first of many. We'll continue to do that. Another important event that we had was one called Colorism that Amala Akbar and Natalia Barkins were gonna lead, and it was scheduled on the day that we had the big rainstorm, and a lot of people lost power, so we had to cancel. We're looking for a date to reschedule. Now, some of the upcoming events that we have, some of these were mentioned by Anna, I believe, in her presentation earlier. A male panel discussion. A lot of the programs that we do not see a lot of the Hudson men show up. So we're trying to do one to highlight the men perspective as a response to the pandemic. Some of the members that we have on the panel are Dr. Nicholas Chevroletti, Dr. Jerry Lamb, Dr. Christopher Conson, Jose Lowe, and Belino Brazil. And also we're gonna have Lawrence Alexander. He's a DEI expert, external person who will be leading the panel. He's very experienced, and we're hoping that this will be an awesome way for us to wrap up all the incredible program we had over the summer, and also hopefully to open up some more opportunities. This will probably be the first time that one of our Pack Day events will be live streamed. We're going to live stream through YouTube, and more information will be coming out soon. Another event that Anna mentioned was a ripple effect. We want to have an open discussion. This will also be a panel discussion dealing to looking at the micro moments when someone impact your life, or when you get to impact someone else's life, and how some of those moments that you might look in passing, maybe not as being as relevant, they end up impacting a life. And I think that all of us are in a position that we get to impact a lot of lives and make a difference. Our stories untold. We have a couple of candidates for the fall. We should be releasing the names and the dates very shortly, and there's much more to come. And again, like in every other time that Elisa and I speak, we just wanted to ask you if you have an idea, a program that you think we should do, or any other idea that you feel we should champion together. Let us know, and we'll be happy to do that. Now, moving past the programming component, we have a diversity statement, like a draft that we're going to share with the academic affairs subcommittees of the ACC, led by Dr. Peter Cromrath. We talked about that, and I believe we have something that could lead to a statement that we could have in the syllabus. And I'm sure there'll be more conversations and community involvement on that as well. And also, all the subcommittee co-chairs of the OPAC Day will be having a meeting with some additional stakeholders, important stakeholders in the college, like John Scanlon and others, to bring the focus back to the strategic planning. And now the Dream team has completed their program. We're going to look at it to see how we continue to incorporate their teams and make sure that we're collaborating and our plans are molding and being aligned. That's all we have for now. And again, Lauren, thank you for this opportunity. And I just want to wish everyone a very successful semester.
Thank you so much, Iris and Lalisa. The events really have been fantastic, and you've provided really, a lot of great space for people to come forward with ideas and offer programming. And I think there's a lot of really good collaboration going on now with some of these ACC committees, as you mentioned, academic affairs with the diversity statement. And I know there's already a really good connection between the College Health Committee and PAC Day. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much. And then our last update is from the Return to Campus Task Force. So Lisa and Heather.
Having trouble unmuting myself. Hi, everyone. It's great to see everyone's faces. Welcome back to a new year. And let me just echo everyone who has given kudos to Lalisa and anyone involved in the planning of today's event. It really was fantastic and well organized and informative. I felt like I was at a conference and so torn on what to do. And truth be told, I logged into 2 at the same time today because I didn't want to miss one. So really great job. So return to campus. I'm going to give you the general updates, and then Heather will give you the specific updates from our working groups. And we just can't thank the task force enough. It feels like every time we say it, I just can't express to you the amount of work and collaboration and expertise that have gone into not just the restart plan, but operationalizing the restart plan. I think most of the people on the task force will tell you the plan was actually the easy part, and putting it into place has been the challenging part. So our work continues, and I really Heather and I sincerely thank all of you for everything that you're doing. So I have 3 updates today. I want to give you an enrollment update, which is in some ways tied to our return to campus because students are going to be showing up to our campus in a week. Number 2, I talked to you about our plans moving forward. Number 3, some important resources that we want to make sure you're available, that are available to you. So enrollment. As of yesterday, we were down about 19% in credits and 20% in headcount. We need to improve that. Of course, we cannot let it get worse. So we've got, all kinds of efforts and outreach and initiatives in place to get that done. And we're really up against the clock at this point. Today's report, for those of you that are on the listserv, I'm going to send it out shortly. I don't want you to get too excited because it shows us much better. But this time last year, we had dropped 370 students today. So it's definitely an artificial move in the right direction. But even if I factor that out, we're still about even with where we were yesterday. So we haven't lost any ground. I want to thank the cabinet and the student accounts team for working with us on a more creative way to manage our deregistration process this year. I think we drop hundreds of students every year for non-payment, and we just cannot afford that type of churn in our processes right now. So we're literally going to manage each and every case individually to make sure that the students in class, A, want to be in class, and B, understand how they're going to pay for it. So we're not going to just drop students blindly this year, which I think could be a new best practice going forward. I really want to inform you that the return of those who have come back to campus so far, which includes financial aid, advising, testing, admissions, library, labs, of course, IT, security, and facilities have been there already nonstop. It's gone really smoothly. So for those of you that have been there, thank you for being the first. Someone had to be the first, and for being so diligent and cooperative with all of the new protocols in terms of masks and the mirrors and the screening and not going too close to your colleagues and using the stairs and only one person in the elevator. We know it's been an adjustment, but everyone has handled it like real champs, and we really do appreciate it. So that's the enrollment update. We have a lot of work to do. The advising team is working this Saturday to register students because we just ran out of space and resources during the work week. They are just doing amazing work trying to accommodate all of the students. I want to stress that the quick term is going to be more important than ever because we probably could have used another week or two of on-campus activities to service the amount of students left in the pipeline. So we're really going to need to treat the quick term like a second fall term because we're going to need to accommodate all the students that are still in the pipeline. So secondly, the Return to Campus Task Force will continue to meet weekly in the fall as we continue to implement the plan and also plan for the fall. Now I just muted myself. We are going to probably change our meeting time. And so if our current participants cannot make that time, we may be asking people to step in to take the place and to represent the various constituencies. So we'll meet weekly. We still have a lot of work to do even for the fall. And then, you know, I hate to say it, but the spring is right around the corner. So I know that we've already started talking about the spring schedule, and we really need to see, you know, once we get the fall off the ground, how we're going to adjust our plans for on-campus offerings in the spring. So that will be our next task that we need to tackle. The last thing is certain resources. The next communication from the RTC will include links to a lot of these items, but I want to remind you that the Care and Concern form is up and running for students that might need some attention that went out today from communications. CARES Act emergency funding is also in play for the fall. Sylvia and team will be evaluating that. Talk Campus is a new app that you heard about today from Doreen, and I sent out a campus-wide communication. It's a 24/7 mental health resource for students. Hudson Health and Food Pantries, of course, always and available for students. Their hours will be expanded when the semester begins. And then the library and the open computer labs, which I know our students really need and really want in terms of the tools they need to be successful. So thank you to Jenny and Trisha and their teams for making that happen. If faculty or staff are in need of technology in terms of a webcam or a computer or a document scanner, we'll be providing links to request those. And then finally, hand sanitizers, the branded hand sanitizers are available for you to request with your PPE requests. And last but not least, the RTC site is your best friend and has a lot of answers to common questions, including the extensive FAQ. So please visit that site often when you're looking for information about plans and protocols and the return to campus. And as always, you can email return@hccc.edu if you have any questions. So I will turn it over to my extremely capable and wonderful co-chair. It's been a pleasure to work with Heather on this task force. So Heather will give you the group updates.
Thank you, Lisa, and likewise. It's been great to work with you as well, and we've had a really great RTC task force all around. As Lisa noted, that an RTC communication will be forthcoming later this week and will include in writing and through various links many of the specifics I'm going to highlight from our working groups. Kind of our unofficial working group, a working group of one, Trisha Clay in technology. We had been using as part of our screening process a paper-based survey, and with the ultimate goal of having an integrated app with the thermal mirror. To make it really easy and kind of just a seamless process. As kind of a midpoint between those two, Trisha developed a small working group, and they developed an e-survey, again, to get us away from paper, and this way people aren't passing pens around. I know some people were very proactive in bringing their own pen to campus. So the QR code for that will be circulated shortly through a separate RTC communication, and then will be included again in the weekly RTC communication. So stay tuned for that, and individuals can complete it as early as 6 p.m. the night before. The e-survey is only available in English. If anyone has a need for the survey in Spanish or Arabic, the paper-based surveys are still available for that. From health and safety is still very busy. 150, this is health and safety and space and facilities, a joint effort that 150 air purifiers have been ordered, are being delivered, and as they are being delivered, they are being placed in spaces that will be used for teaching and working throughout campus. And that work is ongoing as we speak. By the conclusion of yesterday, Ilya reported that the STEM building, F building, which houses nursing and health sciences, and the new student center had all had the air purifiers in place. All other spaces used for teaching and working will have air purifiers by September 2nd, if not sooner. Otherwise, the health and safety group is busy working on a recommendation regarding the protocol for a class or department if someone tests positive. The versions have been circulating and final edits are being implemented. So once that is finalized, we will share it. And then otherwise, one recommendation that came to the RTC, and again, a joint effort of health and safety and space and facilities, was what to do if a faculty member or someone in an office needs to get in touch with security for either mask noncompliance or any other kind of issue. So in partnership with Jen Christopher's team, the number for security, both I believe the desk in the building and the main security center in 81 SIP, will be placed in each classroom, and I believe will be available for each office as well. So easily accessible. Continuing with space and facilities, and again, in partnership with Jen Christopher's office, who has done really amazing work in producing signage. Signage is up and around campus. If you've been to campus, you have seen it. And this includes room capacities, room schedules, and a big thank you to Irma, Victoria, and Upasana in the registrar's office for producing those really simple, easy to understand charts, as well as the spreadsheet where cleaning personnel will sign off after cleaning the room, so we kind of have a running record or a running log of when a room or a space was last cleaned. And then, as I believe Lisa mentioned, all the directional signage, this stairway is entrance only, this stairway is egress only. All of those are also in place. Departments are welcome to order supplies from facilities, disinfecting sprays, those kinds of items. One individual has been designated from each department to kind of place the orders just to keep the information flow manageable. The list of designated individuals is on the Return to Campus webpage, and departments can request supplies through that individual just by sending an email to Ilya and Julio. And thank you to Ilya and Julio for all of their amazing work in getting that off the ground. Academic Affairs, Teaching and Learning, as was mentioned, they developed through a small working group a syllabus statement that has now been circulated to at least all full and part-time faculty and perhaps the college community as well. Thank you, Dr. Jones, for circulating it. And then otherwise, regular term does start September 2nd, next Wednesday. And there will be, this question came up earlier on in the RTC's work. It has not come up lately, but we thought with term starting next week, it was worth reiterating that regular term starts September 2nd, and we are not changing start dates or end dates for fall semester. Additionally, classes that begin in online and remote modalities will remain in online and remote modalities for the entirety of fall semester. On-ground courses will only pivot to a remote modality if it is warranted by action of the governor or something of equal magnitude. Moving on to human resources, training. Many have completed the Safe Colleges training, and I know Anna and Amala had really great attendance at the HCCC specific trainings, and I know they've been holding them for specific groups. And thank you to the other RTC task force members who have helped put those together and help deliver those. We greatly appreciate your expertise. If you have not completed your Safe Colleges training and are planning to be on campus this fall, please do so immediately. Similarly, if you have not had an opportunity to attend an HCCC specific training, please keep a lookout for future offerings. And I know one will be recorded and posted for those who just have scheduling conflicts. Otherwise, employees and students will continue to be held harmless for COVID and COVID-related circumstances. As Dr. Eber mentioned in his remarks this morning, employees will not be required to use accumulated sick or vacation time for COVID and COVID-related circumstances, and students should not be penalized in terms of attendance for COVID and COVID-related circumstances. And then last but not least, student support services and campus life. Lisa mentioned those essential kind of campus services in the library, the food pantry, the computer labs, and their fall hours. So instead of giving them to you here, I will post them in the chat, and we will also include them in this week's communication for everyone's reference. And please make those widely available to the students with whom you interact. Lisa, did I forget anything? Otherwise, I think we'll entertain questions.
Heather, can I ask you a question? This is Professor Imam. And if you look, I typed it in the chat box, a small clarification. Can you read this or you want me to repeat it?
Can you repeat it, Professor Imam?
I can
have it,
see it.
Professor. So Heather, it's
As
the
we
question.
understand, yeah, if there is a class which is on ground in the classroom, and if the faculty member as well as all the students agree to move it to the remote, can they do it?
We did, this question did come to the Return to Campus Task Force.
Okay.
And the decision was that if students are signing up for registering for an on-ground class, it's because they really feel strongly about learning in that modality. So
Okay.
on-ground classes will remain on-ground unless ordered to remove to a remote modality by the governor's office or, again, something of equal magnitude.
Right. Thank you so much, Heather and Lisa. Normally, I would encourage a lot more comments and questions, but I know so many of us need to go to the all college faculty orientation at 4. So I'm going to move ahead. And I think Heather and Lisa both shared the email address and the website for Return to Campus. So if you have other questions or concerns, please reach out to them. They'll also be making continued updates at the ACC, hopefully under a little bit less time pressure. Our last item on the agenda for today is our standing committee reports. Mostly what you're going to hear are the committee's goals for the upcoming semester, what they're going to be focusing on. Before we get started, I just want to congratulate our incoming chairs and thank our outgoing chairs. So for space and facilities, thank you to Sal Quaylar for the previous chair of Space and Facilities, and congratulations to our new chairs. We actually have co-chairs, Eric Adamson and Faiza Fayaz. So congratulations. We're very glad to have you. For student affairs, thank you to Veronica Gerasimo, our outgoing chair, and congratulations to our new chair, Christopher Hansen. And again, we're very glad to have him at the helm. I know that Jed Palmer is going to give the technology committee update, and he's one of those folks that has to run to host another meeting. So we're actually going to go a little bit out of order and start with the technology committee update. So Jed, are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here. Thank you, Lauren. Okay, so this semester, the Technology Committee is going to be looking into establishing student discounts or perhaps special payment plans with technology vendors, and hopefully perhaps leveraging financial aid. And the committee will also be developing and conducting a faculty survey to evaluate the technology that the college has provided to facilitate the remote and online and hybrid teaching that has been going on the last 2 semesters. And finally, we're looking forward to moving forward with the Space and Facilities Committee on the process of classroom standardization. So I guess I will be, I or Ken will be in touch with Eric and Faiza soon about that. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Jed. Sharon, are you here for College Life?
Yes, I am. First of all, I'd like to thank the leadership, thank everyone for being here, thank College Service Day Committee. Collectively, we have proven to be a powerhouse. You have to see that. You would never know that we've done this before. It worked out fantastic. Thanks to everyone who participated in this, everyone who is part of getting us back to school safely. HCC is a great place to be today. So back to college. We had a few things that we were considering prior COVID, and that was a couple boat cruises, paint and sips, community involvement, races for the cure. Over the summer, we met a couple of times just to power storm what we thought we could be looking at in the fall. We know we want to continue to work with HR over the summer. We did Steps to Wellness. I missed most of you, but the next time we do it, I'll be looking for each and every one of you to be part of the Steps to Wellness initiative that we did with HR. We're working with the Center for Teaching, Learning, and Innovation and Toastmasters and AQ. We're working with faculty and staff development to bring just wonderful things such as this that we have today here. One of the other things we want to do is to start to partner with IT Impact Day. And with that, we will work to make recommendations towards helping training or whatever they need as far as college life is concerned. And that's it. We'll bring you more next time.
I know you will, Sharon. Your committee is always working on a lot of projects, and even better than that, you're always making those events happen. So thank you so much. Space and Facilities, Eric and Faiza.
Thank you. So for Space and Facilities, in terms of our goals for the next semester, or for the next year moving forward, a lot of stuff was shut down in our committee when we left campus for COVID. One, because we weren't by the Space and Facilities, but there was also a lot of crossover with what was happening with RTC. And so it was decided that it was best for not multiple committees to be trying to work on the same thing. They would work on that. So coming back, our first goal is we're going to go over, we had a list of sort of minor events that we're going to go through one by one with our committee and decide which ones are still worth pursuing or even possible to pursue at this point, and which ones are complete. And these include some things like the next phase of recycling, which is phase 2 is education, right, for the college community. And we were working on things like the vaping and smoking policy and how the language of that would go. So we're going to go over those things. We also are going to make clear that hopefully as we return to campus, that problems that arise, even though there still is the RTC, that the Space and Facilities Committee is a space for people to come with concerns about things during the RTC process. That just like in the past when people came with their concerns about what was going on in the spaces around campus, that's still an opportunity. And those are really our two sort of overarching goals. But I will turn it to Faiza now.
Thank you, Eric. We do have some vacancy positions for a faculty member, facilities, and we are looking for a new secretary, which we will reach out to our committee members to see if they're interested. And we're also looking forward to working with the technology committee on whatever they have for us.
Great, thank you both very much. Shanine, Development and Planning. Shanine, are you still here?
Okay, I'm unmuted now. Am I unmuted? Yes.
You are. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Like I said in the chat, I'll be very succinct because I have the all college faculty orientation to go to at 4. But basically, development and planning will definitely award the Johanna Van Gent Scholarship by the end of the fall semester. We will look into other ways and other members of the community to honor in the form of scholarships. We will continue to think of and be innovative in ideas for fundraising in the virtual reality that now exists. And thirdly, we will look at the alumni situation, which Eurus will definitely give us feedback on. So that's it for development and planning. Looking forward to a great year. Thanks everybody for the great day that we had today. I'm going to leave right now because it is about 6 minutes to 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Shanine.
I guess I'll just jump in and say one last thing. We got 1 or 2 new members and got a new student member today. So great appreciation for the new members and continued members. Okay, thank you. See you soon.
Thank you, Shanine. Student Affairs, Chris Conson.
Hi, everybody. I have a quick update. So, one of the things that we were working on as a group, we are probably going to put on the back burner for a little bit, which was the minors, children on campus piece. Don't think that's the most pertinent issue for us to focus on at the moment. But one of the other areas that we had been doing some work on, I think, is rising more towards the top, and that's childcare within our area, childcare options and other opportunities to connect students who are parents with that assistance. So we're going to do some additional focus on that, as well as add a focus, look at where we are currently and how we are serving our students. If there's any gaps, this is where the student representation on our committee is going to become vitally important. We're going to look towards them to help, create some of those agenda items moving forward. And then one other piece, we do have a opening for a faculty representative on the committee. So if anybody's interested, please let me know. One of our longtime faculty members has reached the end of his term and is ready to go off into the sunset. So we will love to have you. So come on board.
Great, thank you, Chris. And last but not least, we have the Academic Affairs Committee. I know Peter had been having some issues with his water heater. Is he here? Yes, thank you. Looks like you're muted, Peter.
There you go. I'd just like to thank all of the Academic Affairs Committee members that participated in the subcommittee to form the COVID-19 fall syllabus statement. That was good work over the summer. We are going to work with Eurus and the CPI statement. Some other things we're working on and plan to work on is continued work on the ITV policy for recording in the classroom and updating the recording in the classroom policy. Continue looking at the attendance policy now that we have changing modality of what it means to be in the class. We are also going to work with ESL and developmental courses for a policy on directed self-placement, and hopefully that will all be completed as soon as possible because that is work that needs to be done. I will leave it right there.
Thank you, Peter. I think that's about perfect timing, 3:56. So we have a few moments if there are any general questions for any of the committee chairs or comments or any new business. All right, I just want to thank everybody again for coming today. I know it's been a long day, but a really engaging and meaningful day. If you're a member of the ACC, you should have gotten an email from me with the agenda. If you open the agenda, it has all the contact information for the chairs and our upcoming meeting dates. I'm going to be sending out calendar invitations for our next meetings. Each CCC events will also send out general invitations to the college community. Most of them will be taking place at 3:30. There's just one odd date, and that's November 19th, the week before Thanksgiving. That meeting is going to take place during Common Hour at 2:30 on Thursday, November 19th. I also want to really encourage you to attend the standing committee meetings next week, Wednesday, September 2nd. I know it's very challenging because it's the first day of classes. But please make every effort that you can to attend those meetings and get off to a good start. The semester really does fly by. So every meeting that you can attend, it's really meaningful and helpful. Thank you again, everybody. I'm running to all college faculty orientation. I know a lot of the rest of you are too. Lalisa, you wanted to say something?
I do, I'm sorry. Thank you, everyone. Can I take one quick picture before you run off? Just stay where you are. I'll just do a couple of screenshots because I forgot to do it earlier. So please smile. Okay, thank you.
I just, personally want to say too, thank you so much to those of you who left your videos on for the whole meeting. It's really nice to see everybody's faces and to have this sense of community. So thank you very much. It's wonderful to see so many of your faces. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Okay, Archana, and a second? Looks like Jihan. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll see you soon.